either the lakefront or Samuel St. Jones State Park. Those are perfect places to really be kind of immersed in the golden, rays and of the purples and the pinks that our sunsets provide here in Southwest Louisiana. It is the perfect way to end a day.
Thanks for joining us on Louisiana's Playground Podcast, your roadmap to all things Lake Charles, Louisiana. I'm Brady Raynard.
And I'm Jillian Quarter. We're excited to bring you the authentic stories and experiences of Southwest Louisiana with all the tools that you need to build your own personal Lake Charles itinerary.
Episode 50 of the podcast. Bow, 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 bow. How about that? I can't believe we're already here. And so for this episode, we wanted to change it up a little bit and do what we're calling the Fall Weekend Draft. Timothy Bush of Visit Lake Charles will join us on the show as we each kind of build an ideal weekend, or at least ideal activities for a perfect fall weekend. Really excited about the show, and I really hope you enjoy it.
That's right. So we begin the show as we always do with a taste of Southwest Louisiana. It's a segment we call On V Eats.
This week we head to Bodega Wine Dive. They've been in business for a few years, but more recently, about in the last year or so, they've really converted into much more of a restaurant. Joanne Robbins, the general manager, brought over a New York Italian flair to the menu. If you are familiar with Lake Charles, especially in the late 90s, early 2000s, you may remember D'Agostino's. Well, she's bringing over a lot of recipes from there. She used to own that restaurant, and it really, really works on this menu.
Yeah, it's authentic New York Italian food.
Mm-hmm.
And if you hear her talk about it, you're immediately, before the food's ever even brought out, we were just listening to Joanne talk about the food, and man, it makes you hungry.
It's almost worth requesting if she happens to be there that day.
Like, come talk to me about the food.
Come talk to me at the table about this food.
So much passion behind it all.
A lot of their ingredients are sourced from Italy, the ones that really stand out in that authentic way. And so you're getting a lot of Italy-sourced ingredients. I love to, when I talk about asking for Joanne if she's there, the different pronunciations for things like manicotti and mozzarella. She says it in the authentic Italian way in which they refer to those items, but the rest of us don't.
No, and I tried to learn some of it while I was there, but I butchered it, so I'm just respectfully going to not try today.
Yeah. In addition, they've got an impressive drink menu as well with a place called Wine Dive, right? They've got signature cocktails, neat, of course, wine. In fact, Wine Spectator gave them an award of excellence this year here in 2024. Just shows you the level of quality that they have. In addition, local awards they've won. They've been named Best Wine Bar. They've been named the Best Social Hour and the Best Girls Night Out for the last 3 years because, as you know, Jillian, girls, they just want to have fun.
And we just need a night out sometimes. And let me tell you, this is the perfect place to do it.
Well, let's talk about the food. We'll get you to start with the pizza, Joe.
Okay. It's called the Wine Lovers Pizza. Oil-based prosciutto, mozzarella, gorgonzola, candied fig on a pizza. She said this, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. Not a big fig eater over here. But it's topped with arugula that's mixed with a lemon vinaigrette. It is so different than anything I've ever tasted. But it also has this weird familiar quality because it's like that sweet and salty. It's got the candied fig on it versus a little bit of lemon and then the tart cheeses. So like it's such a strange experience. It's like it's somewhat familiar, but you've never had these flavors combined.
The prosciutto brings the saltiness, the sweet fig, the lemon vinegar dressing. I call it a chef's dream, right? Because every type of flavor outside of spicy that you can have, this pizza has it.
Yeah,
so
it
checks every box. So I guarantee you, any chef that has this has that mental checkbox of does it check this? It's just a bunch of checks on the paper.
Plus, it's baked to absolute perfection. So they have
that pizza oven. I think they said 700 degrees,
something like that. I was blown away.
Yeah, and I was blown away with the pizza. Very, very good. In addition, they brought out the redfish, which is an item that they're really starting to incorporate on their menu right now. They do have like a seasonal fish rotation. Currently, it's the redfish. They pan-sear it and then bake it to perfection. It's a crisp on the edge. There's a little bit of a crunch there. And then they top it with a lemon butter sauce that I have no other way to describe it bold. It's such a bold flavor, and it just works so well with a simple seasoning on the fish. That lemon butter sauce isn't overly strong, but adds that pop to it that is just spectacular.
Well, I mean, lack of a better word, zest.
Yes.
It's got it's a perfect little point on
Yep.
the end of that.
They also come with creamy new potatoes, which are super sauce. It's almost like a reconstructed mashed potato, if you will. A lot of the flavors that pulls there, they're super soft. The cream sauce really enhances the flavor of the potatoes, and then the skin has a crunch that also is often. The textures are off the chain here. I guess that's the one that if you're a texture person, I think you're going to really be blown away by the different textures each of these items have. It also comes with roasted asparagus too, great soft, nice crunch as well, and a nice garlic flavor too on those asparagus.
Okay, so let's talk about the Alfredo for a second. Alfredo sounds like such a throwaway meal, right? It sounds so basic sometimes. It's like the thing,
It's simple, right?
It's simple. It's the thing you order your kids because they're gonna like it, right? This Alfredo, it's what I order everywhere, right? That's my safe space is like Alfredo. This is amazing and blew away. I mean, any Alfredo I think I've ever gotten before. It is not overly sauced. Right. So
like a true Alfredo.
Like a true Alfredo. It's not just like loaded down, saucy, a couple of noodles in your Alfredo soup. It's not that at all. This is really good. It's got house Alfredo sauce in it, sliced prosciutto. It's topped with shaved Parmesan, big chunks of shaved Parmesan, basil. I had chicken in mine. You can also get it with shrimp. It's so good. It's a hearty meal, but it doesn't, like, you're full when you eat it. But it doesn't feel like it's weighing you down. Sometimes pasta can you just feel like you have to take a nap afterward, and this isn't one of those meals. I think it's because it is just that perfect sauce to pasta ratio. Really, really good. It doesn't sit heavy on you, and it's a must try.
I'll save your favorite dish for last. So I'll take the
Thanks.
eggplant Parmesan, a house red sauce, the bread and eggplant, a nice slice of eggplant, mozzarella, and then you get a choice of either rigatoni or angel hair. We were served with angel hair, and it's a spicy kind of marinara. It's got a little bit of a kick to it, but the flavor is on point. Like, it tastes so fresh. It's cheesy. The marinara to me really stood out about the meal. The eggplant was great, but that marinara is really what caught my attention. Like I said, that spicy kick to it, the little bit of pepper flavor that's added there. Incredible, incredible Parmesan. I said, I wonder what would it be like with a nice pork chop. So I'm hoping that seed was planted, and maybe in a few months, maybe there's a pork chop Parmesan on the menu as well. We'll see. No promises.
Interesting. The eggplant parm, the sauce that was on it, it is different than the sauces that are on some of the other dishes.
That's what she was saying, yes.
Yeah, Joanne said that this was one of Chef Lyle Broussard's sauces, I believe, that little spice that comes from him. He comes in, she said, I think weekly, and trains the staff there.
There's a partnership
trains the
between
chefs
them
there.
and
yeah,
him.
that he comes in and he makes sure everything's just right on point and everybody's caught up on some of the new dishes and things that they're offering there. So that's his, I think, contribution was that's some of that spice there for sure.
And it works.
And it works. It works for sure. So, okay. So the manicotti. Let me just take a deep breath because this was so delicious.
It's the best manicotti I've ever had.
It is the best manicotti I've ever had, and I am a frequent orderer of manicotti. So number one, perfectly cooked pasta inside it. You've got your different cheeses, right? You've got your ricotta, your fontina, mozzarella, basil, but on top of it is this amazing house meat sauce that has, I think, 3 different kinds of meats in it.
Yes.
She said it's got a stew meat, an Italian sausage, and a ground beef. And it's in a marinara or tomato-based sauce. It is so hearty.
And it is just topped across.
Yeah, it's not, don't think of manicotti sitting in tomato sauce with a little bit of meat on it. No, this is like
75 meat, 25 sauce.
Yes, like this is This is a meat dish.
Yes.
I think a lot of people think of manicotti as, oh, that's just a cheese-based dish. Maybe I need a little something more heartier, for whatever you're ordering. No, this was hearty. Like, this has so much meat topped on top of that amazing cheese is underneath it.
Yep.
That it's absolutely amazing. And the sauce, the house meat sauce, Joanne said it was cooked for 2 days. They let that stew and just absorb all of the amazing flavors. It's so cheesy, but the Italian sausage, the ground beef, all that is just on point.
And she said that's her grandmother's recipe.
Well,
So
Nona
it
did
worked.
quite well.
Yes, she did. She did as well. So I would say someone at the table when you go needs to order the manicotti.
Yes.
I would say it's a must. They're all great, but the manicotti to us, I think both of us, that was probably the thing that stood out and we said, wow, that was really, really good.
Sure. And we did, I know this sounds like we overate, and we did a bit, but we kind of did this family style. You order several different things. Everybody's trying things off of each other's plates. And man, I'm glad we did. It worked that way.
Yep.
And I'm so glad we did that because I wanted to try every little thing that came out of the kitchen. It was absolutely wonderful.
As far as how to get there, south of I-210 in Lake Charles, just off of Nelson Road on Country Club, it's about 10 minutes from McNeese or 12 minutes from the airport of Burton. So if you're on that side of town, it really is a pretty short little drive over that way.
Yeah, and on top of that, we forgot to mention just the ambiance, the atmosphere of this place.
Sure.
It is so pretty. It's
so upscale but casual. They want to let you know that there's no dress code. It is very casual, but at the same time, very upscale.
It is. It feels so elevated. They have, kind of a back portion of the restaurant with these huge windows. I think they're currently working on their outside little patio that they've got going on. So it's really well appointed. The decor is gorgeous. I told them that I wanted to take home some of the light fixtures. There's plants everywhere. It's just one of those places that gives you this really great feel. And we talked about girls' night out. I could totally see that. Date night.
Yep.
This is one of those places that needs to be on your list.
From a great meal to a great guest, we welcome on Timothy Bush, the Chief Marketing Officer for us here at Visit Lake Charles. He's also my boss. He oversees and manages the marketing arm and everything under that umbrella at VLC. He's a Louisiana native who is well-traveled with stops in Georgia and South Carolina as well. A self-described foodie, Timothy enjoys trying new restaurants and traveling with his husband Marcus, as well as spending time with friends and family. Welcome to the show, Timothy. It only took 50 episodes to get you here.
Congratulations. You
Thank
made
you.
it.
I was trying to see how long I could avoid this.
Yeah.
I mean, you're only on a podcast about every other week, so you've probably been on 50 podcasts since our 50 episodes. So.
Well, I felt like since I did the other one, I had to come and do hours.
That's fair.
Fair.
Yeah, definitely.
Since you are his boss, it's nice that you made it appear. You didn't decline this invitation.
No, I thought about it. No, like the podcast is a great vehicle for us, and so I'm thrilled to be a guest and making my debut.
It's a Mercedes.
I would say
or a Lamborghini.
That's the best. That's the kind of vehicle we are.
Well, if Philip's choice, it would be a monster truck, probably like a fire truck, monster truck, or something.
I think of Louisiana's Playground podcast as one of those water buses.
Okay.
Wow.
Yes.
Those tours like the duck boats.
Yeah. All right. Are you ready for these rapid
What
fires?
I'm ready.
Yeah. So, Timothy, obviously, you're probably one of our biggest fans of the podcast. So, you know how this goes already, and you already know the rapid fire questions, which is a real shame. But either way, we have to ask them to get to know you and see how you play in Louisiana's Playground. Crawfish or gumbo?
Crawfish.
All the way.
All the
Easy
way.
answer.
So I do love gumbo, to be clear, but because crawfish is only a seasonal thing, I tend to gorge myself on crawfish. I mean, at least probably when they're reasonably priced, 2 or 3 times a week.
When they're reasonably priced.
Yeah. Although I will still eat them no matter what price they are. Like I will not eat them as much, but I still have to have them.
Poolside or beachside?
Beachside. I do love the water. I'm not a great swimmer, but I do love feeling the sand. I do love just being near the water, particularly when it's a nice, beautiful day. I don't think there's a better way to just relax and maybe read a book and just connect with yourself.
I love that. Just a little time for you.
Just a little time for you. I have to have a tent and plenty to drink, but yeah.
Yeah, that sun will get you.
It will.
It's like the sun from remember Super Mario 3 where he just chases you down.
He does the spinny thing. And
yeah, he's coming
you.
for you. Yeah. So that tent needed.
We were here on the I-10 beach with the kiddos just a couple of weekends ago. And I mean, man, that is an undertaking when you try to take the whole family to the beach, even if it is just 10 minutes away from our front door. That's a big undertaking, but we had tents galore and
17 bags.
It just,
you need a lot to go to the beach.
Well, you need a lot to go to the beach with kids.
You got to have drinks. You got to have,
but
diapers.
You're prepared.
Everything. Exactly.
But you're prepared.
But you're prepared. Yeah. Once upon a time, Brady and I could just load up, drive down to the beach with nothing but a drink and call it a day. And now we have to have 6 wagons load everything that we need. Yeah, it's a problem. Okay, next question. Concert or comedy show?
Comedy show. Absolutely. I love to laugh. Comedians are an expression, and so I love how they view things. I love the perspectives. I just love things that make me laugh. It's an opportunity to be in an environment where you don't have to think, you just have to feel and enjoy.
It's probably the only reason that I still have a job here is that I luckily can make him laugh pretty well, and so I think it's my saving grace.
That's what got you hired?
I find him very entertaining on most days.
See?
He said entertaining. He didn't say that you're funny. He said you're entertaining.
She understands my choice of
words. Can I have something here?
I'm just saying, I caught that.
All right, so for the episode 50, we wanted to do something a little different. And so the structure of this episode is not going to be like any other structure up to this point. We're going to have what I call the fall weekend draft. I'm a big football fan, so I love the NFL draft. And with the upcoming season, college football, NFL, all of that, it kind of plays perfectly into that, where we're kind of building not necessarily an ideal weekend, although in some ways you could kind of look at it as that, but I'm thinking ideal things to do in the fall here in Southwest Louisiana. We'll take turns each drafting picks for the perfect fall weekend there. There'll be 4 rounds, and we'll do it snake style, meaning the last person will go twice in a row. And the categories are dinner, Sunday brunch, a daytime activity, and a nighttime activity. So do all of you understand the rules?
I understand the rules, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
So the first person will get to pick the category and their choice, and then the next round will get to be chosen by the last of the snakes. So should be fun.
Make it as complicated as possible, too.
Yes. Okay. I'm ready to go.
Is this going to be like that time? I really needed to bring this up. Like that time that we were doing our fantasy football draft, and I accidentally drafted Terrell Owens, who'd been retired for 5 years.
At that point?
Yes.
It will be that way if you decide to add any spring activities to this
or something that's closed.
Season.
Yeah.
Hey, accidentally drafting T.O., I actually tweeted that out that I'd done that, and then he followed me. Isn't that awesome?
# don't draft T.O.
I'm just saying he followed me on Twitter after that. I thought that was interesting.
It's your claim to fame.
All right.
Because you're the guest, Timothy, we'll allow you to go first, then Jillian, and then myself. Would you like to choose the category first?
I'm choosing day activity.
Okay.
So, and I say my...
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you doing?
So, because I'm a foodie, I'm doing the Louisiana Food and Wine Festival.
I almost selected that.
Yeah, let me mark that off my list now.
So for me, again, because I'm a foodie, that event represents everything that I love, that I'm passionate about. It's the different cuisines, it's the wines, it's just so many different options every day of something to enjoy. And so it's a great way to fill a fall weekend. And again, for me, there's something on Thursday night, there's something on Friday, there's something on Saturday, there's something on Sunday. So there's really an opportunity for people who love food to be able to find their connection point within those couple of days. I mean, there are also classes that people can enjoy. So if you are a foodie, that would be my number one draft pick for a day activity.
Yeah, that's a good one. And it was a lot of fun, and it was some really incredible food. I think the brisket mac and cheese was probably my favorite from last year.
Absolutely.
That was incredible. So some of the bites that you get at this event is incredible.
Yes.
Yeah. And so also it's great that there are other destinations who participate. And so they're bringing their flavor of Louisiana to the Louisiana Food and Wine Festival, which is a great way to add in different tradition from other areas.
Yeah, but you also have those locals that are on display too. So Louisiana Food and Wine Festival is where Chef Amanda Cusey, tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Close your eyes and open your hand." And she sprinkled some kind of food in my hand and said, "Just eat it." And I said, what am I about to get into? And it was garlic pop rocks. She had made garlic pop rocks so she could sprinkle it on top of her dishes there. And it was the most incredible thing I've ever tasted in my entire life. And and I was like, okay, I'll trust this woman with anything. Like, she can cook anything for me, and I will say yes to it at that point. But so locals and people from from all over the state on display there.
Pick two. What do you got?
Okay, so for my daytime activity, I am choosing Chuck Fest. Chuck Fest is October 19th. It's a Saturday, and it starts at noon, so you can sleep in a little bit if you want to.
Sure.
It starts at noon. It actually goes all night. It goes until midnight, and it's full of really amazing music all throughout downtown. They have different stages set up, so there's music all over downtown, plus all of your art vendors and like local vendors who make different things. So whether it's your jellies and jams or your artisan soaps or candles or artwork, all of that's on display. There's performances throughout the afternoon and evening, and it's the day part of it is very much a family friendly affair. Later into the night, it's more adult themed, there's great beverages available and things like that. But that's my daytime event. That's where I'm going, October 19th.
You guys both brought your A game.
I did.
Man, it is a lot of fun. I love my favorite part is probably the vendors, because you get to see a lot of stuff that you aren't necessarily accustomed to, whether it be like fresh done like pickles. There's also some kind of really bold creations too on the culinary side there. And then the art's awesome to look at too.
Yeah. And also Chuck Fest is celebrating Lake Charles.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lake Chuck, if you will. So we are really celebrating home.
Yeah, I debated between Louisiana Food and Wine, which is in September 19th through 22nd. And Chuck Fest is a little bit later. And so I was trying to really decide where I wanted my weekend to be.
Yeah.
Sure.
But yes, the food, the music, it's a great Lake Charles celebration weekend.
All right, for the last pick of this round, so I'm going to choose the Cow Cam Fair, which, as we've talked about, and I believe it was our second episode here on the podcast, is a celebration of Calcasieu and Cameron Parish. They come together and they have a fair celebrating both parishes and just the area. 102 years in existence. It's October 3rd through 5th at the West Cal Arena and Event Center in Sulphur. And the best part is that, similar to Louisiana Food and Wine Festival, it stretches multiple days, and there's multiple events at nighttime, at daytime, but specifically I'm choosing a time to where you can really enjoy the fair, right? Fair foods and rides. We took Philip, I think a year or so ago. He loved and enjoyed a lot of the rides and the games and all that kind of stuff. And so that classic fair feel. And while inside you walk through the arena, and there was a rodeo show and livestock show and stuff going on. And so you kind of get a little bit of feel of a part of this area that you don't see every day. And so that's why I chose the Cow Camp Fair. I think it's a cool experience. You get the fair experience and then a little bit of the culture here, the cowboy rodeo culture that we have.
Yeah, especially if you're bringing your family. We had a great time when we brought Philip. We were with another family and their kids too. Really amazing time. This will be Catherine's first time there this year, so love to see her up on the Ferris wheel.
Little stinker.
Watch little stinker go up in the air.
All right.
See if she goes down the big slide. We'll see.
Let's move to round two. And my choice will be Sunday brunch.
Okay.
I mainly just didn't want y'all to steal my answer. I'm going to go with Tia Juanita's Fish Camp. So we featured them as well in our podcast too. And that's what the reason that I'm mentioning them is because I was blown away by their Tres Leches French toast.
Yes.
And so specifically when we're talking brunch, that's what I'm talking about. It's their French toast. They drizzle it with a cinnamon cream anglaise, which is basically like a vanilla custard. And they serve it with dulce ice cream, and it's topped with toasted almonds. And that dulce de leche ice cream is like almost caramel flavored ice cream. And the almonds are so incredible. It tastes like fried ice cream on French toast.
It's
incredible.
Everything.
Like it is so good, and it is one of the items that I'd have on my top 10 must try list while in Lake Charles.
And it's a big order too. You can share it. It's quite nice. Have you ever had it?
I have not had it.
Oh,
no.
you
should
something-
change
that's
that.
something
You
that I need to go
should.
try.
You have
Yes.
to go try it.
So-
It is very good.
All right, Jillian?
We don't go this way?
No, it's a snake draft. That's
I
why
don't
I made it so complicated, but no one listened.
I just don't understand football things. Okay, so for my brunch, the day after Chuck Fest, if you wake up on Sunday, October 20th, you can go to the Bruisey Brunch hosted by Crying Eagle Brewing. So Crying
Okay.
Eagle, one of our microbreweries here, really fun, which are building right here on the lakefront as well. So one day you'll be able to visit one of 2 locations.
I'm so excited to be able to walk to lunch one day.
Absolutely.
Isn't that amazing?
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be an amazing view out here, looking out on the lake. It's going to be wonderful. So this year, though, before that's built, you can head over to Crying Eagle's location over on McNeese Street. It's right there close to McNeese State University, and try out their Bruisey Brunch.
Good choice.
Okay. So for my choice, I'm going Drago's in LeBear's Casino Resort.
Okay.
Because we like oysters and pancakes.
Oysters and pancakes.
Wow.
Yes. So we love oysters because Marcus and I both love seafood. I mean, it's a passion of ours. I don't think we would be married if we could not.
Agree on seafood?
Yes, absolutely.
I feel like that's like the Louisiana version of chicken and waffles. Oysters and pancakes or chicken and
Yeah.
waffles,
But,
right?
now,
think
but we're
so.
not having those together. I mean, obviously, they're 2 separate things. I mean, we have oysters first, and then
I don't
we
know.
move
When you
on
said oysters and
to-
pancakes, I was
It did.
picturing
No.
Yeah, it
oysters on
No,
pancakes.
no. We'll move on to the pancake after.
Oh, okay.
Their pancake is, in my opinion, perfect because it has nice crispy edges.
Uh-huh.
And that to us is what makes a pancake exceptional. So we will go to Drago's, we'll have oysters as an appetizer, and then we'll move to pancakes. And that is, in my mind, the perfect Sunday brunch option.
I love that. I've never heard pancakes and oysters in the same sentence, but I respect it.
Again, not together.
Not necessarily together.
But
But you
appetizer,
could try it
pancake,
and see.
and then you have, of course, they have a great menu, great drinks as well,
Yeah.
and so it's the perfect way to spend a Sunday,
Mhm.
and then go home and kind of sleep on your couch,
Yeah, take a good nap.
a nap. I mean, because after oysters and pancakes, you kind of need a nap
You need
afterwards.
it.
Yeah.
All
for
right,
sure.
2 categories. Which one are you choosing?
I'm gonna go dinner.
All right.
It's not my turn.
No, that's not how snake. You're always in the middle.
Okay, so.
I don't understand. Don't draw me a diagram. Stop it.
So
Just go.
Again,
I might leave your not understanding of a snake draft in this. I wasn't going to at first, but the fact that it's come up like 4 times, I think I might leave.
I think you need to.
I figured you were.
I think you need to because I'm over here pretending like I'm getting it, and I'm just
Yeah,
I'm
you
just
just
I'm just
fall-
not.
you
I'm
don't
just waiting
know.
for somebody to call my name. You know?
Go ahead. Choose your next option.
So my night dinner option, and again for Brady who gets to work with me, gets the pleasure of working with me every day. He should really know.
Right.
Yeah, sure.
Right. Yes, sir.
You should know what I'm going to pick. So I'm going with Vic and Anthony's at Golden Nugget.
Ooh.
it's just obviously, in my opinion, one of the most outstanding steakhouses in Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana. Of course, we have others, but that's just a personal favorite of mine because it's to me, it starts off with the shrimp and crab martini, which is an amazing appetizer. And then if you want to just enjoy, oh my God, a tender piece of steak, Vic and Anthony's is where it's at for me. And also, I really enjoy their wine list. I've really gotten into red wines over the last year or so. And so they have a really good red blend that is just amazing with a piece of steak. So it's probably one of my go-tos anytime I'm looking for a steak and we don't want to cook it at home.
Yeah. And it's one of our more elevated options.
Yeah,
Here
definitely.
in Lake Charles. And so it's got that feel to it, that a little bit of escapism, a little bit, you're going somewhere.
You're treating yourself.
You're treating yourself. It's a night to get dressed up a little bit. It's a fun atmosphere.
Well, I think you make a great point in the fact that if you have never been, you don't know that something like that is even here.
Yeah.
And so whenever we have friends in town or we're hosting like writers or other things that we do here at Visit Lake Charles, Vic and Anthony's is one of those places that does often appear on the list of places that we take people because they have great customer service. The staff is extremely friendly, which I think makes for a great ambiance for showcasing something different within our community.
Is it my turn?
Yep.
Okay. For dinner, I'm going to Area 337. Oh, did you have to mark that off your list?
I had that. That was one of mine.
Oh, was it your number one?
I have them as number 1, 2, and 3, but I don't really have them as 1, 2, 3.
So sorry I took your choice, but I'm going to Area 3. You can come too. To be fair, you would
be there.
probably be there.
I would be there.
I would probably bring you along with me. We're going to Area 337. We're going to go visit Gus and see what he can cook up for us that night. Area 337 always has such a great atmosphere. The vibes, the drinks are flowing, the music, just the overall atmosphere. They've moved into a new location in downtown Lake Charles, which is
beautiful.
really exciting. And I have never ordered the wrong thing, right? Like when we go there, we order something different. We try to mix it up every single time we go. And every time they deliver, he's always coming out with some new drink that he wants to try or new flavor of his like mojitos.
Oh, those mojitos. Are
and they're always like
next
really
level.
interesting flavors that maybe I would never order myself. I'm not that adventurous, but he brings them out. Always good, always on point, and it's just never.
All right, we need
misses.
to go this weekend.
Yeah, I think we do.
I now really would love a mojito and that stewed chicken.
They just don't miss, and the atmosphere is so much fun.
Okay, I am completely on the opposite side of like the feeling. Especially during fall, I think so much of football or that kind of feel. So I want that type of meal. So my first thought was Daryl's. Obviously, a po' boy would be amazing at this time of the year. But instead, I want to give a shout out to one of my favorite spots when I want to just have like an awesome dinner, and it fills me up, and it's something that I don't get often. I'm gonna pick Raja's Curry Kitchen and Grill.
Oh, Raja's is so good.
I love Indian food. I love the spices that they use and how it's presented and served, and the little spicy kick that it gets. They also use garlic in cool ways. I'm blown away by their cuisine. And so we have a couple of really good options in town. Raja's is one of my favorite as well. I get the gyro mix. So it's half lamb and half chicken mixed over rice, and they use a garlic sauce, and they use a hot sauce there on top as well. And it is so flavorful. There's so many things going on. The meat's so tender and seasoned. When it gets a little cooler in the fall, and I want just a big hearty meal to go along with my football game that I'm watching, Indian food kind of really hits that spot. So I'm going the Euro mix there.
And if you don't like the spicy option, you go with the butter chicken, which is what I get every time. Again, always good, always tender, so yummy. The kids like it too.
Yeah.
Like it's just you can't go wrong.
So heavily suggest there, if you're not quite as adventurous, a po' boy from a place like Daryl's is obviously a staple too on a game day.
Oh, you have to if you've never had Daryl's.
Yeah.
Are you
it's
living
a must.
life?
Not really.
Check out episode 1 of
No,
Louisiana's
you're not.
Playground Podcast.
I mean, it's true.
All right. And so we're on to our final category, which is nighttime activity. And I'm going to keep the theme up and say attend a football game.
Okay.
McNeese has a lot of really good teams on the schedule, for example, for this year. Specifically, I'm going to go with one that's by the end of the month. If you pick one of the home games, the one that I think is going to have the best atmosphere is going to be August 31st at 7 o'clock, McNeese against Southern.
Ooh.
This was the most attended game in McNeese history since they've done attendance counts back since 1991. There was over 20,000 people packed into the hole last time. And that was in 2019. I wouldn't be shocked if that record's broken again later this month. And as far as the team, there's a ton of transfers on the team, so McNeese is going to get a whole new facelift coming into this year. So the game itself should be as good as well, in addition to the atmosphere. And then, of course, tailgating. What? Tailgating's so awesome. VLC will have a tent set up there as well, so make sure to stop by. I love football. Football in Louisiana is so special. So you're getting two Louisiana teams, two teams meeting on the gridiron, a home opener. Southern obviously always comes in with a lot of expectations too. So that's my spot.
Also entertaining because, I mean, the Pride of McNeese band is always good,
And
right?
that's a
Every
good point.
weekend. But you've also got Human Jukebox there.
Yep, and that's
For
a
that-
good point.
oh my
Southern's band
gosh.
adds another level of that game day atmosphere as well. They're exceptional.
I don't even have to watch football.
Yep.
I just need to be near a band like that. And you were absorbed into that atmosphere.
Absolutely.
Easily one of the probably top 5 bands in the entire country.
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
that tells you the level of dominance that they have at the band and the level of passion that they have. So good point. That is also another kind of feather in, hey, if you're coming to a McNeese game, that's probably the one you really want to circle.
Love it. Love it. Okay. So, we've already talked about what I'm doing on for brunch on Sunday, October 20th. And the day before, October 19th, I'm going to Chuck Fest, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the evening prior, Friday, October 18th, you see.
Okay.
What about the candlelight concert at the South Lake Theater? So Fever Labs travels the country and does these candle-lit concerts where it's thousands, I mean, truly, of candles, and that's the only light in the room. That's the only light source in the room. So automatically you're brought into just a feeling, a show.
Sure.
And they have all sorts of different music, but usually they've got a piano or someone on strings. Just absolutely beautiful setting, beautiful music, and something so different than what we may normally have to offer. Southwest Louisiana is normally pretty loud. It's a party. It's crazy. We've got the festivals going on and things for the kids to run and do in football games. But a candlelit concert kind of brings a different atmosphere. Perfect date night, I think.
That is an amazing suggestion.
You're welcome. Put it on your calendar.
That is exceptional.
It's one whole weekend designed by Jillian. You're welcome.
And South Lake,
you could come work here.
oh
yeah.
my gosh, I could.
Yeah, and we'd
have to
swap you
fire
out,
Brady.
and South Lake Theater as well is an incredible venue.
It
We
is.
watched
It is,
Star
absolutely.
Wars Episode 3 and their whole immersion
love
experience
that.
there. That was awesome. That's also where we had the premiere of Say Yes to the Venue.
Exactly.
So it is a multi-function spot that is really state of the art in a lot of different categories. So taking in some type of show and event at South Lake Theater needs to be on your list as well because they are incredible.
Okay, so my last one.
Your nighttime
Mhm.
activity.
That's it.
So I thought really long and hard about this. And for me, what I'm going to pivot to is something outdoors.
Mhm.
Southwest Louisiana has, in my opinion, and I don't think it's my opinion, I think it's known that we have some of the most beautiful sunsets anywhere in
Agreed.
the country. And so for me, it would be the opportunity to walk around the lakefront or go to Sam Houston Jones State Park and walk on the trails and have again, it could be a date night of looking at the sunsets in Southwest Louisiana with the backdrop of, again, either the lakefront or Sam Houston Jones State Park. Those are perfect places to really be kind of immersed in the golden, rays and of the purples and the pinks that our sunsets provide here in Southwest Louisiana. I think if you are somebody who enjoys being outdoors, enjoys nature, enjoys that sense of awe that it comes with being out and looking at a sunset, it is the perfect way to end a day. And also this value in the recreational value of exercising at the same time while you're taking in something that is so spectacularly beautiful within our community.
I think the financial value is really good too.
Absolutely.
Save some
Because
buckaroos.
it costs you very little. But in terms of how it makes you feel,
Yeah.
priceless in terms
Agreed.
of that. And so I think that is something that is accessible to anyone who lives within our community. And so I think that it has a lot of value there as well. Of course, there are other places. I mean, you can go down the Creole Nature Trail. You can be kayaking on the water. So there's any place you can take in a sunset. That's what I think is really kind of cool. No matter where you are, you have this opportunity to be able to see something so beautiful. And I think that is something that we should just never take for granted within our community, because I don't think everybody has the ability to see those things like we do.
Yeah. I think you're right. And I think a lot of people are trying to take advantage of that too, and really trying to show that beauty to people. We have you can rent the lit bikes at night to go on those night bike rides, and they start normally at the lakefront. I always see them as I'm on my way home from work. They start on the lakefront watching the sun go down, and then you can go on your lit bike ride. Or, closer to Christmas time, we've got the carriage rides on Shell Beach. They're, again, watching the same thing. Even some of our restaurants that you have a rooftop patio where you can see that sunset over the lake. Nothing beats that. You were right. Spot on. Good job, Timothy.
And even going down to Cameron Parish, if you spend all day on the Creole Nature Trail,
Oh,
you see
yeah.
the same sunset there, and it's just as spectacular. In fact, it's my background of all of my apps on my phone
Oh, that's right.
is a shot of the sunset in Cameron Parish. So,
And to me, what makes it cool is like I said, I mean, no matter where you are, it's like a 360 view, right? So no matter where you are, you can still see this amazing sunset.
Yeah.
And that to me is really cool about living in Southwest Louisiana.
such a perfect ender to the episode, and in fact, wasn't planned. So it's serendipity.
Couldn't have
it's
written
meant to
it
be.
any better.
That's right. So thank you so much for taking your time to join us on this fall draft.
This is great. I had a blast.
Thank you so much.
Thanks again to Timothy for joining us here on the show, and thank you for taking time out of your day to join us on this here podcast. If you enjoyed the format of this episode, let us know. We can definitely do similar themed episodes here coming up in the future, just to kind of give it a little bit of a different feel for each episode.
Yeah,
If you-
maybe by then I'll understand what a snake draft is.
Yeah. I wouldn't hold my breath on that one. If you enjoyed the show, please follow the podcast. Leave us a rating or review. Comment if you're on Spotify or YouTube. Send us some love. We'd love to read your comment here on the show.
Also, it helps us grow our audience and further share the unique experiences that Lake Charles and Southwest Louisiana have to offer. Just go to visitlakecharles.org/podcast for more episodes, advice on where to eat, and events happening this weekend. I'm Jillian Corder.
Is this where I talk again? Because I'm confused about the format of this.
Stop it.
All
And
right.
I'm Brady Raynard.
Thanks again for coming to play at Louisiana's Playground. Sit you.